Okay, core activation, here we go. First one, you're in a kneeling position. Doesn't matter what side you choose first, just get into a kneeling position. Make sure that your knee is on something soft enough that it's not going to get bruised or be uncomfortable so you can complete the entire duration of the exercise. So this is going to be a cycle between a couple different things, one of which we've covered before. So as you can see, I'm in a kneeling position. What I just did is untuck my back toes so my toes are flat to the ground, as you can see. And they're also behind me. So not behind my knee, straight back, but a little bit more behind my tailbone there. Okay? Now, we're going to do two things here. The first, keeping our hands at our ears, we're going to lower our chest as much as we can forward and on the inside of this forward leg. So it's a hinge in a kneeling position. So I'll bend forward. Notice that my back stays flat as I go forward and towards this knee, but on the inside of it, as far as I can go, which is about here. Then I push myself back up using this leg. I'm driving through the floor to bring my chest up. Then I will sit my hips back. You'll see that my chest lowers down as I do this one too, but the difference is that the second revolution, my hips go back over my foot. And then I come up and forward. So my hips go back and down, up. Then the first one again, chest down and forward. Now I'll show you from this angle as well what it looks like bending forward. So I just switched my legs so you can see a difference. So hands on the ears, I'm going to hinge forward, keeping my back flat. Go as far as I can. What you'll notice here, there's a couple things that limit how far you can go, and it's actually the mobility of this hip. You'll feel a stretching, kind of engaging sensation here in the groin, because that's what's decelerating and preventing your chest going all the way down, right? This stretch looks familiar. We've done this before, but now you're doing it actively by actually hinging into it, pushing yourself back up, and then sitting back. Very slowly pushing the hips back forward. Okay, so that is essentially two different motions within the same revolution. Okay, so you hinge forward, then you sit back. Okay, you're going to do 10 of each. That's 20 total reps per side. That's actually a lot. Okay, 40 reps in total just for this exact exercise. So take your time, make sure you count, don't lose count, get both sides, and pay attention to the form the entire time. Sometimes as you go along in a core exercise, if there's higher repetitions, you're like, okay, let me just get through these repetitions, I'll lose my form. Don't lose the form. If you have to cut short, don't do as many reps, that's totally cool with me, okay? But 20, so remember, and this is the way I'll count, I'll just show you really quick. This is 1, that's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you do 20 like that. It's 10 of each of those. And don't go as fast as I just did either. I was just showing you for what the counting looks like. Okay, now the second exercise. This is going to be more abdominals, this next one, okay? So you're going to get into a tabletop position to start. That means on your hands and knees. And we're going to lift up into bear. Okay, we've been here before. When we were in bear before, you just held. Or we've held this position before as well, kind of down dog bear. This is more of low bear. So we're going to stay in low bear for this one, but now watch what I do with my spine. I'm going to do a cat-cow with my spine in a low bear position, which is going to be really tough. You'll notice as you practice this one, it's really, really hard on the abdominals, which is great. That's what we want. So I'm going to lift my knees. Now watch my spine. Low back arches. Low back rounds. Arch. Round. So I'm squeezing here, my abs, and here I'm arching my spine. So I'm feeling more spinal erectors in this position. More abdominals here, squeeze, arch the back here. And look at my knees. My knee level pretty much stays the same. I'm not dropping, I'm not going up. Very slowly. So you're going to do 15 of those. Now, please don't rush that. Take your time. Again, always considering the form before the number. Okay, so if you have to stop before 15, that's totally fine with me. Now the next one, the last one for the core exercises, is going to be a hip abduction, meaning we're trying to work the glute medius booty exercise, right? The outside of the hip, the outside of the butt. So we're going to get in tabletop again. I'm going to demonstrate with a stick what kind of core stability I maintain as I do this exercise. So I'm in tabletop. I'm going to brace my abs so that my spine stays stable. And then I'm going to bring my left knee directly to my side to feel the outside of my left hip. So I'm feeling my left glute, medius specifically, and then coming back down. Not resting on the ground, just repeating. Do it again. Come back down. Continuously moving along. Now, you can see that the stick is staying on my back as I do that. If I were to do it in an unstable fashion, if I were to twist in my spine and compensate there, then I would lose the stick, right? So I'm just demonstrating with the stick so that you can see you don't want your spine to move as the leg and hip abducts, okay? So from this angle, it looks like this. Spine is stable, arms are straight, knee goes out to the side, come back down, go right back up. Now what I tend to see with this one is a lot of the knee going forward here. So watch this. If the knee goes forward like this, as opposed to directly to the side, that's going to be more hip flexor, front of the hip, rather than glute medius, okay? And we want to make sure glute medius is the primary driver of that exercise. So for that one, I want you guys to get 15 each side, and then come around now. Because there's a lot of repetitions in that core activation drills, do only 2 sets, okay? It's going to be a lot of time. 3 is not necessary. Only 2 sets. And I will see you in tier 3. Hope you're nice and warm now. See you in a bit.